There's no way a jury has enough evidence to find President Trump guilty of any crime, let alone the fake crimes that are being alleged here. Let's give you an update on the 5th week of, as I've called it, America Held Hostage, where the Democratic judge up there, Judge Merchan, is keeping President Trump hostage, a political hostage in his courtroom as he goes through this abusive trial brought by Alvin Bragg, the Soros-backed prosecutor, Democratic politician. Now, previously, I kept on saying Merchan is a Democratic politician because he'd been elected. He wasn't elected. He was selected. Some judges up in New York are selected. Merchan is one of them, but Merchan is a Democrat operative in the sense, or activist in the sense that he gives money to the Biden campaign. He gave money to other far-left anti-Trump and anti-conservative Democratic groups. And on top of that, his daughter has further compromised his ability to serve fairly on this trial by taking money from anti-Trumpers in a way that shows that she benefits financially from this trial. So no matter how you slice it, Judge Merchan shouldn't be the judge on this case. So it's been abuse on top of abuse for Trump. He's obviously been subject, as we've complained about, a gag order, an anti-constitutional gag order that serves to constrain him from defending himself and campaigning at the same time. So his campaign can't talk, and he can't talk about key issues related to this case. So Stormy Daniels can essentially call him all these terrible names for no good end in front of the jury, and he can't defend himself by going back at her. Similarly, Michael Cohen, his lying criminal ex-lawyer, can make all sorts of fake allegations against him, and he can't respond and criticize him because of this gag order. So all these headlines are out there, and Judge Merchan is essentially is controlling the Trump campaign. Now, do you recall by allowing or agreeing to allow a Democrat-appointed judge up in New York, a Biden donor, to run our presidential election? Well, that's essentially what's happening. And the Cohen case shows or the Cohen testimony shows that there's no there when it comes to this prosecution. It really exposes the corruption associated with this prosecution. Cohen confirmed in his testimony that he's a liar. His testimony was, in fact, Trump's lawyer said he was lying right then and there to the jury. And on top of that, it's clear from his testimony that this idea to pay off Stormy Daniels, or to give her a fee in consideration for confidentiality in a non-disclosure agreement, all of that was run by Cohen. And Trump, in the end, paid him his legal expenses, as Trump understood them, to take care of the expenses that Cohen made on his own. So if you believe Cohen, there's no crime. And of course, if he's lying, it makes it even less credible that he can be relied upon to accuse Trump of anything. And, as I've tweeted, and I'll show you the tweet here, I'm still waiting. It's been now the main witness, Cohen, has testified, still waiting for any evidence of criminal activity by Trump in that sham trial up in New York. In fact, it looks like to me that Cohen should be on the dock. He recorded Trump. He admitted to lying beyond what he's already admitted to in other jurisdictions and in other forums. And as Trump's lawyer said, he's arguably lying right now. And I don't know how the jury's going to take all of this, because Cohen's credibility, it seems to me, was completely gutted by Trump's attorneys. And even the prosecution really didn't get much in the way of good evidence from him. But not a credible witness in my view. But I don't know what the jury's going to do. Next week, there may be a witness or two that Trump brings in. And then it goes to the jury. I mean, the jury is going to get this next week, as based on my understanding of the process up there in New York City. But in the meantime, the country suffers. And, you know, I highlighted that it makes America look bad. And, you know, Trump has been following Judicial Watch and my comments on these areas, and he's been referencing some of our commentary and analysis of the outrageous predicament he's in. Let's go to those tapes.
Tom Fitton, the Biden Democratic Party sham and the sham trial and other abuses of Trump are an international scandal that harms America, and it really does. It really harms America. It's from Tom Fitton.
Yeah, this is the tweet he's referencing. The world is watching the Biden Democratic Party sham trial and other abuses of Trump are an international scandal that harms America. Our country's reputation as a shining city on the hill, remember that biblical quotation that Ronald Reagan used so effectively, is tarnished by this political persecution of Trump. Now the whole world sees our system as no better than a banana republic. I think it endangers our national security and our national standing. And Trump referenced another comment I made about this sham proceeding earlier this week as well. And
Tom Fitton, I've carefully tracked the at-real Donald Trump trial up in New York. The prosecution, in quotes, prosecution meaning persecution, hasn't presented any evidence of a crime by Trump whatsoever. Judge Merchan is, well, he says very negative things about him. I don't want to say that about the judge. I'm not going to say that today about the judge.
Judge Merchan, at the conclusion of the prosecution's case, this is the part Trump didn't read, should follow the law and end the trial with a directed verdict for Trump's acquittal. There's no basis for a jury to find Trump guilty of anything. There's no evidence that's been presented. And if Judge Merchan, as a judge, allows this to go to a jury, in my view, that would be just another abuse of Trump. It would be another abuse of Trump. There's no way a jury has enough evidence to find President Trump guilty of any crime, let alone the fake crimes that are being alleged here. And it bears repeating, because you won't hear this in the media, he's being accused of falsifying business records in advance of another crime, because they had to make that conditional. Otherwise, the case would have been thrown out for statute of limitations issues, because those issues about falsifying business records, the statute of limitations, it goes back years and years. It's already past it. Arguably, the federal any other crimes are past statute of limitations as well, but that's another argument. And the outrage is they still haven't told Trump or the American people or the jury what those other crimes are. It can't be a federal election crime. They don't have jurisdiction over federal election law up in New York. So what is it? And thankfully, members of Congress who are concerned about the rule of law have started taking my advice. We've been talking publicly about this, right? Why aren't the Republicans out there standing with and defending Trump? And to his credit, as I noted, Speaker Johnson was up in New York. He went up there, I guess, on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? I think so. And I thanked him. You know, I criticize Speaker Johnson all the time here, so I'm going to praise him here. Thank you, Speaker Johnson, for going up to New York to stand with Trump, the rule of law, and the U.S. Constitution. You are right. It is a brazen and unprecedented election interference. And we have a clip of the Speaker's comments after his brief attendance at Trump's trial to show his.
I'm an attorney. I'm a former litigator myself. I am disgusted by what is happening here, what is being done here to our entire system of justice overall. The people are losing faith right now in this country, in our institutions. They're losing faith in our system of justice. And the reason for that is because they see it being abused as it is being done here in New York. The facts here are very important. Facts are always important in a trial, or at least they're supposed to be. The president's actions in this matter were previously reviewed and no charges were filed. Why is that? Because there's no crime here.
And the Alabama Attorney General is up that way as well.
30 years I have been a prosecutor and cared desperately about what goes on in our criminal justice system, and I have never seen in my career a greater perversion of the criminal justice system than I witnessed this morning. We had more questions about Michael Cohen's feelings than we did connecting him to any criminal offense. When I was a district attorney, I had the privilege of being able to work with Cy Vance. I know that his team reviewed these facts and rejected any effort to use the resources of this city to pursue a sham prosecution.
Now, you saw behind the Attorney General there, Senators J.D. Vance and Coach Tuberville, and there were some members of Congress up there. Byron Donalds went up there. I know Gates was up there, and a few others. And good for them. Good for them.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.